What's happening, everybody? Welcome to another broadcast of the Tar Heel Lunkers and the Kayak Bass Team Series East Region. We're going to jump into it here, kind of talk a little bit. Oh, I'm in the background again. Sorry about that. So we're going to recap the last event, Kerr Lake, Bugs Island. Ended up being another close match. Had one angler, had a heck of a day. But we'll talk to some of the guys here to see how their days went on Kerr Lake, and then we're getting ready for the last event of the season. So, Chickahominy River, tidal river up here in Virginia between Richmond and Williamsburg. Be curious to see how this pans out. A couple of us got on the water today. It's got a pretty well documented history. This body of water does. They do a lot of big boat tournaments, BFLs. Bassmaster Opens, all that good stuff. So it's kind of a real unique situation where these tournaments run out of the James River, but guys in the boats figure it's worth their while to make the 45-minute run to the Chick, as it's appropriately known. There's big fish here. It can be really, really good. It can be really, really stingy. So we'll get into that and talk to these guys a little bit about it. But with that, first things first, we do have our final hat giveaway of the year. So if you go over to the Tar Heel Lunkers page on Facebook, if you put in your guess for the 10 best fish for the winning team, we'll get a hat shipped out to you. If you're watching this, I know we got a couple hats we got to get in the mail. So I'll get that when we get back next week. But yeah, go ahead and put your guesses in. Love to see the interaction, and y'all can keep posted. I promise we are going to try our best to do a live stream for the actual event this Saturday. It'll depend on service. It's a pretty big body of water, so we'll just have to see how it goes. But give me just a second here. I know somebody's looking for something. I know what he's looking for. Wi-Fi passcode.
And a link to.
Yeah. Link. I'll send a link out. Bear with me. With that, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna get these other guys in here. I'm gonna get a couple of the Virginia anglers in. Got Sean and James. Fellas, what's happening? How y'all doing?
How we doing?
Doing good.
Good deal. I hope y'all smell better than I do. I haven't had my shower yet, so gotta get to that.
It took me an hour and a half to get home today, sitting in traffic.
I'm saying that sounds like a short trip for you
compared to the regular 4.
Across state lines. Yep.
Right.
Well, I know last time was that David Miller was up here for the Chick Lake. It was like 3 hours, 2.5 hours, something crazy. But anyways,
that tunnel could be a nightmare.
Let me figure out how to get this over to Keith real quick. Bear with me. We're professional on all costs here. Nope, that's not right. Let's try that. That should be better. Sorry, we're going to get some more people on here. Okay. So, fellas, let's talk about the last event, Kerr Lake. I'll give a little spiel of what we saw. Tight match. We had a lot of fun in practice. I don't know if y'all, and I'm sure you pre-practiced, maybe not a couple days leading up to it, but we had gorgeous weather. It was cool. It was overcast. Fish were up chewing. We caught a lot of good topwater fish in practice. We knew it probably wasn't going to hang on for Saturday. Turns out I got one good one on Saturday, and then it was a struggle. But what did y'all think about Kerr? Interesting body of water, man. Like, again, it's storied history. Lately it's really not the lake it used to be. I think everybody knows that. Some of these big tournaments, 12 to 14 pound sacks is kind of the deal. The place has absolutely gotten pounded, hammered. But that being said, I thought, it shouldn't be a surprise at all that, of course, when Keith and I from the Lunkers show up to the ramp, I don't know how many ramps are on that lake, 30 or more. I don't know how many acres of body water, but sure enough, there's Mr. Sean and Mr. James. We shouldn't have been surprised. I mean, the kayakers are going to find the good water that they can get into. So how was y'all's day out on Kerr?
It was pretty good. I mean, obviously the fish size is always an issue. But there's a couple places that I tend to fish out of that ramp, and I know I can always get a limit out of there, but size is the issue. So yeah, all my fish came back where I saw y'all at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Further back up. I mean, it gets narrow, but I mean.
Yeah, it was interesting. I there's a couple big events coming up, so I won't give too much information. But that general area in practice had been really good to us. I didn't fish it in practice, but we actually in practice, I think in the write up I put we actually got on to 319s in practice, which was incredible. Like those are unicorns out there. And then we repeated that same pattern in different parts of the lake where they weren't as big, but some solid like 16 and a half, 16 and 3/4. I went and chased spotted bass for a while, hoping that some of them gotten big. I'm sure they are, but I didn't find them. They were all 12 and a half. But yeah, that area was really good in practice. And then the same thing, I think tournament day, like the size disappeared. Actually where I fished, we didn't touch at all. So it wasn't like a fish management issue. I caught 117, kind of not that far up into a creek. So he was still kind of out in the lake. But yeah, a lot of you saw 14 inchers, 15 inchers. It was a struggle to call those out and make some headway. So, but it was cool. It was some pretty part of the water. So Keith, talk about your day a little bit. You kind of honed in on something, and I know it was right up your wheelhouse. How you like to fish.
Yeah, tell us, Keith.
Yeah, okay, Sean, get ready. No, during pre-fishing, I actually found quality that I wasn't accustomed to finding at Kerr. And unfortunately, I still had the same numbers, and I had quality and numbers during pre-fishing, but unfortunately, I didn't have the quality during the tournament. But I still had numbers. I don't know how many bass I caught during the day, but unfortunately, I just couldn't come upon that six. I think my biggest one was like 15 and a half or something in that neighborhood. So it was, it was sad. But whenever in pre-fishing, I caught 2 19s, a 19 and 3/4 and a 19 back to back in one spot. And unfortunately, that spot did not give up another fish between me nor anybody else that fished it for the rest of the tournament. So that was kind of sad. But overall, I mean, it was fun. Again, it was fun because, I mean, Kerr Lake, you can catch numbers of fish. And I always enjoy, beyond the tournament, I'm still just a fisherman. I love to catch fish. And so, I wish they were bigger quality, but it was fun. And we had a good time. And, the one thing I do want to say is I'm always proud of this team atmosphere. And even though we're competitors against the Virginian anglers, we see each other out there at the ramp the first thing in the morning, and then it's a banter back and forth automatically. It's fun. And then whenever we run into each other on the water, it's not, hey, get out of here, none of that. It's like, hey, let's fish, So I really appreciate the relationships we have, and I think that's super important and part of what makes this whole deal special.
Yeah, 100%. I like that too, man. It was cool. I guess, Sean, you had left the area before we got in there in the afternoon, but of course James was still up there fishing, and I think we were all trying to figure out the plan to get back to submit fish because none of us had service, and you putting fish in the live well, like where we were talking about like, well, and we had Steve that came up from another ramp, and I was like, man, Steve, leave your stuff here. I'll give you a ride back. We'll get our fish submitted and then come back. And we were like, Sean can watch stuff, or we can watch Sean's stuff. How it was going to work. So it was a little bit of a scramble. I think everybody got it figured out. I was fortunate. I was actually able to submit him across the ramp on the water still, so I didn't have to deal with it. But I know y'all had to run into town. But just, we talked about on the way back in, like James and I shared a conversation coming back in. And, it's just cool. I love it. That's a big part of it is that camaraderie. And it's just fun. It's a whole different spin. But with that, yeah, so Kerr, I mean, it was tough. Like, end up the privateers took the win. 162 and 3/4 inches took the win. Really, it was Ray Montez that showed up and showed out. His smallest fish was about the size of most of our largest fish. So he he put 8 on the board for his team, ranging from 15.5 all the way up to a 19.5 kicker. So Lunkers came in second, 157.5, and the Anglers came in third with 149.75. But if you go back and look, I mean, it's the moral of the story is this: is like you were going to catch 15 inchers and you needed to have kickers. Lunkers, we found 2 that were 17-inch range that kind of bumped us up a little bit, and then we just never found the 19s that you needed. So I think everyone was, right there, ready to take the win. But the big fish didn't show up, and like I said, they're definitely unicorns in that lake. They're hard to come by. So, all right, well, that's in the past. Let's talk a little bit about standings, because this is the crazy thing. This is our last event. It's tight as tight can be. We're looking at the points, which there's not much separation when you look at it. Lunkers have a marginal lead at 400 points. Privateers 375. Anglers 350. I think when the dust settles, we might have to go to inches, which is even crazier because, like right now, between first and second is 3/4 of an inch separation. That's for the whole season. So that's crazy how tight this region's been. Anglers, I know you guys are hungry to get out. You've had the last 2 events a little bit lower than I know you guys wanted to be as far as total inches. But I know, we're going into Chick River. I know you guys know it well. At least I have a feeling y'all know it well. Sean, seems like you probably like this place quite a bit. Let's talk about it, man. Giants live here. Giants can be had, but there's also a lot of the same thing of, I think a lot of 15-inch class fish. It's going to be who can get the kickers, in my opinion. So just general, we don't need to get into specifics, but Chick River, what's it mean to y'all? How long have y'all been fishing it? What are your thoughts?
I get it. For me, it's extremely dependent on what the tide's doing. Can change everything, location, everything about it, depending on the tide. That's really the big thing that I key in on there is what the tide's doing. Some of the tides are higher than others. Some of the low tides are lower than others.
Yep.
So, and that's the thing about not knowing that river. If you find a spot that you like and you think that's high tide and the next tide rolls in and isn't quite as high, then you can't even get to your spot. And same thing, if that tide rolls out and you're up a creek, you're staying in that creek until that tide comes back in.
Yeah, you're stuck. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, you can get muddy and get out, but yeah, that when that tide falls, it'll fall quick. So it's an interesting place. I really like it. There's certain sections of the river that I tend to key in on that I always do fairly well. I haven't been finding the big fish that I like, but finding a good sized class fish. But I know there are people that say that's going to be the river is where the next state record bass is coming from. So it'd be nice to see it. I know it definitely has some big ones in it. Over at Ed Allen, he's got pictures on the wall. A lot of those are from the lake and some are from the river as well. So there's big fish.
As long as they quit taking them down to the James, we'll be all right.
Yeah.
No, there's plenty of big fish. I mean, I know, back in June, Keith caught a 22. I mean, I know, it's easy to find. Well, not easy. I mean, there's a lot of 7, 8, 9 pound class fish in the river for sure. I mean, it's well documented. Obviously, time of year, is a big player. But you nailed it. I mean, it's tidal influence. That's kind of, this is going to be more of a mental battle, knowing that there's going to be bite windows, knowing that you got to, run your stuff the right way to be where you want to be when it's going to happen. And maybe it doesn't. So, it's not a typical like, hey, let me bebop over here, plan B, plan C, plan D. You got to kind of, have it in your mind, stick to it. So, and then keying in on what the baits are. I mean, like, maybe they're keen on one thing, one color. Maybe it's different things for different scenarios. I will say it's a cool fishery in that, taking the tidal part out of it, just from a river perspective, let's just say it was a normal river. I mean, it's still pretty cool that it affords you all of the different types of structure. You have cypress trees, you've got hydrilla, you've got pads, you've got docks, you've got barges, you've got all kinds of different things that, you know, can cater to how you like to fish. So it's a pretty cool fishery as far as that's concerned. You know, you can really, you know, fish how you want to fish it, knowing that the tides are in your back pocket all the time. So, Sean, let me pivot to you, see what your thoughts are.
My biggest problem with this river is everything looks juicy on it. Everything. Everywhere you look, there should be a fish there. There should be a fish there. And sometimes it's not the way it is. I've done a lot of crappie fishing on there. And I've been crappie fishing on the river for about 15 years now. So I've seen a lot of it. And the tide is crazy through there. Trying to sit on a kayak with the wind blowing, tide coming in or going out, trying to get that angle on that dock or that tree branch or that cypress stump, it can frustrate you sometimes. But the fish are up there, they're chewing. A lot of 15s in there. It's almost like a switch flipped and we're back at Kerr again, just different part of the state.
So I was trying to I saw Rob was out there fishing. I was trying to get him back in here. I don't know where he's fishing, but he's out in the dark. Yeah, to that point, I mean, I noticed today, you know, I did get out in the water a little bit, and it's, you know, unfortunately, there's all those variables that, you know, throw at you. One of them, tide's coming in, wind's going the complete opposite, you know, and it just doesn't help out the situation that you're hoping for. So again, you got to say, oh, well, you know, do you adjust and stay and figure it out, or do you move on and find something else? So, you know, weather's always a factor. I mean, I know we had clouds, a little bit of rain this morning. Sun came out, it wasn't too hot. Tomorrow, I think it's supposed to be brutally hot. I think we'll maybe get some storms tomorrow night. Not sure. So who knows Saturday morning what's going to happen. You know, everybody knows what the tide is going to be doing. Weather might be a little unpredictable, but, you know, I think in general, you know, it lines up for a pretty decent tide cycle for us. Yeah, I mean, I had a pretty good day on the water. I was short, but you know, got to check out some things I wanted to see. And, you know, again, it was really my second time seeing the river, but really the first time seeing a lot of the river. So, Keith, I know you got out for a very, very brief amount of time, but you fished up here in June. And I know this reminds you a lot of your I guess, grassroots fishing.
Mm-hmm.
So I know it has a special place in your heart. So what are your thoughts on the river?
I was extremely successful in my couple hours this afternoon in eliminating water. So therefore, I know where I'm not going the rest of the time. So we try to turn negatives into a positive. But no, I think that it's all about the tide, like you say. By the time I got here, it was dead low tide. And where I was at, it was hydrilla everywhere. And it was really just, I mean, it was just a mess. So we'll see. You know, I'm going to, like you say, return to my roots. I'm pulling out some old baits that are old Eastern North Carolina baits that I don't pull them out in lakes, but I pull them out in places like this. And hopefully one of them will be what they want to chew. We'll find out. Uh-oh. Dave might be hung up.
Yeah, he's frozen.
So, Sean,
Keith,
where should I go fish then? Since I've eliminated water, you need to get me on some water.
I was going to say, David Batten said he appreciated your help today with his kayak.
Yeah,
he was out eliminating water as well.
He was. The wind, so it was low tide, and so it was probably 3 feet or 4 feet down from the dock to his kayak, and the wind was whipping, and he was struggling, and it just, you know, I was glad to be able to pull up there and be able to help him get his kayak loaded up.
Yeah,
we've all been there, and that's a miserable thing. So it was good to be able to help him out.
Yeah, that wind will make you look silly trying to put a kayak on a trailer. That's for sure.
And blame me for not believing him. I should have just left and gone on, but no, I had to say it was telling me the truth. Unfortunately, he was.
Yeah. Yeah. Dave looks comfortable.
No, I hear him. So this is in our Airbnb, and I hear him saying he's got to find the Wi-Fi button. Hold on. I'm gonna look around because who knows where the router's at.
Tell them they're biting on black hula poppers in the middle of the grass.
Black hula poppers in the middle of the grass.
Yeah.
Well, I prefer jitterbug, but where'd he go?
I'm over here. I don't know. Work for 10. Great.
Oh, here he comes back.
Oh, here he comes.
Here you go. You're locked up. Here you go. Talk to people.
Here we go.
Ta-da!
Yeah.
We have technology.
There we go. Now we're good. All right. Y'all can see me twice, whatever. This is so much better. Anyways, I don't know what y'all are talking about. I think Keith was talking about how he found all-you-can-eat salad bar with hydrilla exposed today. This has to be
Yeah, that happens. Especially when the tide goes down.
Yeah. All right, now we're back. You guys stay here and talk, man. I don't know.
I'm going to step back
Okay,
here.
gotcha. Arlie, you can come in here too, man. You can give your point of view if you want.
Come on, Arlie.
He's come say hey. Arlie's had a long day. He got up at dark 30, I guess. You're on this one over here. There he is.
What's up, buddy?
Hey, man.
How you doing?
Pretty good.
Good.
He's vertical.
I caught some, so nothing
Good.
big though.
Save them for Saturday.
Oh yeah,
That's what we're talking about.
That's what I told him a while ago. I hope anyway.
So let's talk about totals. I'll make the guess. Granted, we don't have. I mean, I don't know if we're ready to do it or not. I'm gonna say just because maybe not overall total, but big fish. Let's just do big fish.
21. Somebody's going to come on a big one. If not a 22 citation. But I'm going to say 21.
Yeah, I definitely think 22 at least. I mean,
Yeah.
I think everybody that out of us that's going to be on the water is more than able to find that fish. You know, I think with the grind that it could turn out to be, I definitely think somebody's going to hook one.
I want to see a 23. I think last event of the year, we've had some quality fish. I don't know what our big fish actually is, but we haven't had like a true.
I don't think we've had a true giant.
Well, Western Branch had a 22. Wyatt had a 22 something, right? That's the biggest one.
22 and 3.
I want to see a 23. I want to see.
My goal is 10 24 inchers.
That's that. Good luck, sir.
Thank you, sir.
I hope you do it. I hope you do.
Never mind that tracker that I put on your kayak. Forget about that. It's not important.
I like Keith's frozen image. That's his response to you saying you're going to catch 10 24s.
I'm going to get out of the way.
Well, you're stuck there anyway. You
Yeah. I think a 22 or 23 is definitely possible this weekend.
Yeah, I'd like to see a 23. I'm trying to get Rob in. Of course, I've got terrible service over here on the. We'll see what happens. I don't know what's going on with my computer. It should be fine. But. Well, guys, let's a few minutes we got. I mean, last event. Let's reflect on the whole season. Just real quick and go around robin. There's Rob. Rob, where you at, man?
I'm out at a little public spot doing a little night fishing.
How's it going? Putting them on the board?
Say what?
Are you putting them on the board?
Oh yeah, I'm catching them pretty decent now. I'm just dragging a Carolina rig, trying to be like the Carolina boys.
You mean like Smiles? He's the only one who throws it. The Matt Dunn special.
James knows where I'm at. This is the spot he showed me.
Yeah. Okay.
Gotta be out there catching some redfish. That's what it should be.
Hey, so have y'all talked about like the chaos in our division?
We got into it a little bit, yeah, man. Like I know you wanted to bring it up. Like it's anybody's ball game. Like no matter,
Yeah, it is.
it's insane. Like it's to the point we're saying the separation. If we go to inches, which is very possible, 3/4 of an inch over 5 events, 3/4 of an inch separates first and second place. It's stupid.
Man. No matter how you shake it up, man. If we go by points, it's too close. If we go by inches, it's gonna be close.
We just have a fish off. Let's just do a fish off. Let's call it now. We'll have the East Region will have 7 events.
We'll just call it right now. First fish on the board wins the region.
Ooh, nah, I ain't doing that.
No.
Come on.
Don't make me break out the beetle spin.
So Rob, you're not fishing this event, right?
I am not.
Okay.
I caught them pretty good. I went and pre-fished a few times, and I caught them damn good all the times. But tidal rivers is kind of like a weakness of mine, so I just went ahead and pulled myself from the list for this.
Right. Well, I know you guys got. I mean, you got plenty of guys that fish this regularly, so you're in good hands. You know it. But that's the thing. It's so tight. I really think this event's gonna be anybody's ball game. Like you guys got the advantage, obviously being both teams kind of a little bit of home court advantage. But I feel pretty good after what I found today. Tomorrow's a new day. Saturday's a newer day. So who knows?
You were out there today?
Yeah, for a little bit.
Are you staying at Rocket Hawk?
No, they were booked up. Yeah, they were booked. We tried after the Chick Lake event. We called and tried to book, but they were already booked out. So we were covered. Yeah. So we're up. We're the other way. We're towards Richmond.
I have to agree with Matt. With Matt though, man. Like, I think it was Matt who said it, right? 22, 23 is going to be the big.
I said 23. I don't know. Keith said 22. 20, you said 22?
I said 21.
21. John said 22. James said 22. I'm not sure. 22 or 23. I'd like to see a 23. I'd like to see a 23.
Yeah, that river's got him, man.
Oh, yeah.
Just don't get caught in one of those creeks when that tide shifts on you.
Be slopping around. Slopping around.
Yeah, I forget what the next high tide is on Saturday, but
I want to say it's 9 a.m.-ish is high tide.
yeah, and then the low tide. But if you get stuck in a creek,
Oh, well, it should be 12 hours later, roughly, right?
yeah,
9-ish. You might get out by dark.
yeah.
Speaking of which, y'all want to y'all up for grabbing a bite to eat afterwards after the event somewhere somehow? We got to figure that out. We can be ranky stanky and go to Ed Allen's, or we can do something else. Whatever we can figure that out. But got to put a cap on the season.
2 Drummers is right there. It's a pretty good barbecue place.
They got outside seating, right?
What's that?
They got outside seating.
Yes.
We could stink it up if we needed to.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'd love to. I know it was pretty cool the first 3 events. So getting back into recapping the season, we made it a point, and all teams did a bang up job. So we doing the camaraderie, trying to do the meetups. I think it was great to do. We learned some lessons, like maybe not so much doing the night before the event because everybody scrambles and tries to retie and get situated, and next thing you know, 2 hours of sleep later. But it's been a blast, man. Like we kicked it off at Mac, had the Cinco de Mayo thing with Rocket Hawk, had the barbecue. After that, Rob had us over at his place, and then it was kind of cool. Like the next 3 events didn't really cater to the meetups, so this last one. Hey, let's put a ribbon on it. Congratulate whatever team comes out on top by the narrowest of margins, and then we look on next year, man. But I'll just say, like, for this year, it was awesome. You know, we had very short notice. Everybody got their act together. Everybody had the right intentions. At the end of the day, it's still fishing. That's what it's all about. It's 4 guys, 10 fish, go to 10. And kudos to every single one of y'all on all the teams, man. It's been, you know, it's just been awesome. It's been good. Every single event, no issues. I'm aware.
I don't foresee any team having an issue getting a limit this weekend.
No, I don't see it. I don't think it is.
I think it's going to be the team that can put up 2 or 3 19, 20-inch fish that takes it.
Yep. As long as Ray Montez doesn't show up to catch 8 again, we'll be all right.
Dude, have you talked to him? Did he tell you how he caught all those fish?
No, I'd love to hear.
Fishing the bridge, fishing riprap with a frog, not with a buzz frog.
Buzz toad, yep.
Yeah, he caught them all in like a 50-yard stretch.
Not even. He said it was like a little 10-yard section of the lake.
Must be nice.
5 miles.
Yeah. Yeah, we burned a lot of water that day. Well, let's go wrap this up. Let's go back. What was everybody's favorite event? Like, whether it was for the team, for personal reasons, whether it was fishing or not. Like, what was everybody's favorite event this year? Sean, I'll start with you.
I've enjoyed them all. They've been fun.
There's no easy button here. You can't hit the easy button.
I got a love relationship with Macintosh, man.
He does.
So, of course, that's my favorite. But I mean, just the entire season getting to fish with y'all, and it's always a bonus when we come down and fish CKA and CCKF and get to run into you guys and everything else. So, it makes it all worthwhile. Made some great new friends this year. But yes, Mac is my love.
Magic Mac. Yeah.
Yes.
James, what about you, man? Favorite event? You're real muted. I don't know what's going on.
That's something I didn't care for too much, just because of how I did. But I'm really looking forward to this Saturday, honestly. I think this will be one of the better ones. I think. Hopefully the big bite gets on, and hopefully it'll be good for everybody, but better for us,
I hear you, man. I'm going to answer for Arlie because he's going to take his 12 inchers and flip those digits around. He's going to catch 21s, and his favorite event is going to be the Chick River. He showed out the Chick Lake, though, so I know so far.
I'm good with it.
We had that event, but yeah, let's see, favorite event for me, man. I guess not so much it was a favorite, but because it was such a challenge, was actually Western Branch because it was so different from last year. And, just it was tough because, like, we'd had whatever event was before, Chick Lake was before that was kind of a grind. And I talked to Keith about, you're gonna love Western Branch. You're going to love Western Branch. Well, what I loved about Western Branch, I didn't love for about 3/4 of the day and all of practice. But it was cool to to pivot and eke out a win there. That was a tight race. That was probably the closest event I think of all three, if I'm not mistaken. So I'm gonna go Western Branch. Keith, what about you?
I'm gonna lean in on Dave's spot if it's still there. I would have to say Western Branch, simply because I was looking forward to it because I'd heard so many good things, and it did not fish the way that Dave promised me it would. But it was still a good tournament. It was a tournament where I didn't catch any big ones, but I had a lot of utility. I felt like I was a utility player in baseball. I was able to help get, I had some key fish. And I caught them in different ways in different places. I mean, I covered from dam to dam. Well, actually, from dam to dam to dam from all three
That's
of
the
them.
only place you say
Yeah.
3 days.
And that was actually a lot of fun in figuring it out. And yeah, I'd say Western Branch.
Rob, what about you, man? What's your favorite event?
I mean, I have to go along with you guys, man. I got to say it was Western Branch. It was my favorite and the one that hurt the most because I lost quite a few big fish. But I mean, I love Western Branch, man. And like you said, it fished different than it normally fishes because the grass wasn't up, and it was nice to have to like figure out the different bite. It sucked to lose, but you know, that was a good event. I think Chick River's going to show out though.
Yeah, I think it's definitely got that potential. It's going to be those big kickers. See what happens. See what happens. All right, well, closing thoughts.
Be safe.
Through Saturday. Yeah, man, go for it.
Be safe. Catch big fish. Have fun.
Good job.
Simple. I like it. Stay away rain. I don't need any more rain on a pre-fish. Had a lot of that. And everybody's healthy. That's the other part. I think everybody's healthy, knock on wood. So
Be rain and sweat tomorrow, buddy.
yeah, it's gonna be hot as blazes. Hotter than blazes. But that's all right. It's August. It's supposed to be. Well, fellas, with that, you know, may the best team win. I mean, that's what it's all about. All the marbles. It's so close. It's anybody's ball game. I mean, anglers, do your thing. You put 200 inches up or 240 inches. That's what. Yeah, 240.
That's the goal.
You got it.
That's the goal.
I like it. But yeah, I mean, if anyone else is following along out there, we're gonna get some more stuff going on. We got a winter series coming up. We're trying to get a little more involvement from some teams, so that's gonna start in October and run through February. I know we'll be coming up here to fish some. I'm sure y'all come down.
We'll be coming down.
You might be coming to McIntosh. Maybe. I don't know. But anybody listening, that's a 2-team or a 2-man team event. So it's not gonna be like the 4 season-long things. It's gonna be one-offs. But it should be fun. We got some different bodies of water, some new bodies of water, some old bodies of water, but different time of year. So it'd be nice to not have to sweat and deal with thunderstorms and all that good stuff. So different techniques, all that good stuff. So it should be fun. And then already laying the groundwork for Kayak Bass Team Series 2024. Got a lot of work to do in the off season, but there's been some good progress. So hopefully we can get this thing back together. Hope to see all y'all again. But with that, y'all be safe, have fun, and for those fishing, we'll see y'all Saturday afternoon somewhere, somehow.
All right, sounds good.
Be safe, guys. See y'all Saturday.
All right, see ya.